threat match, but you just saw our colleague, Renee Young, with that story. William, it's now going to be a one-on-one, Corey Graves and Conor O'Brien, but what do you make of all this?
I don't know. I mean, we're sat here, we could do with somebody filling us in on what's going on, because
we saw Bo Dallas laid out.
We saw Bo Dallas lay out.
Surrounded by the medical team. For Bo Dallas, who's a fierce competitor, we saw him stand out, not just compete, but stand out in the Royal Rumble match. For him to not be able to compete, something serious happened.
Bo Dallas beat the Intercontinental Champion Wade Barrett
on Monday Night Raw.
Bo Dallas was actually my favorite to win here today, because I know the determination that young man has, and now he's not here.
And his opponent, weighing 280 pounds, the Ascension, Conor O'Brien.
The last time we saw Conor O'Brien, he fought to a double disqualification against the undefeated and highly respected NXT champion Big E Langston. Conor O'Brien is a name on the rise here at NXT, William.
This will be a very interesting contrast here, because neither of these men are what you could call fan favorites. You know, they're both definitely different. They've both got their own seriously bad attitudes. It's going to be interesting to see.
You invoked the name earlier of JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield, and certainly JBL talks about poking the bear. Well, that man on your screen right there did exactly that, taunting Big E Langston, and yet Conor O'Brien held his own against the NXT champion. You know, that's got to be on the mind of Corey Graves right now.
Certainly did. Conor O'Brien made a great showing against Big E Langston. I mean, what a battle that was between those two monsters. But Corey Graves is so cunning, so wily.
This battle for the #1 contender spot and a chance to take on NXT champion Big E Langston. Such a contrast looking at the frames of these two. The lean and wiry Corey Graves, the massive strength of Conor O'Brien. How does this match break down?
Well, one of these competitors, whoever wins this, is going to be in a big money match.
Strength there.
We don't know when, but he's going to be in a big money match. He's going to be in a championship match against Big E Langston. Now, I say this a lot, but tonight is the most important night of these two young men's careers, because we've seen what happens to the champions here on NXT. Worldwide fame and recognition. And usually the call comes to go to either Raw or SmackDown, or both.
It's the second time we've seen Conor O'Brien sling Corey Graves. Corey Graves is in against a bigger, stronger superstar. What can Graves do to counter those size advantages?
Graves has to quicken the pace here. He has to try and somehow get Conor O'Brien. See, that's the problem. I'm saying quicken the pace. But
Conor O'Brien running through Graves.
When Conor O'Brien wants, it's just... When Conor O'Brien wants... When Conor O'Brien wants, he can quicken the pace as quick as anybody we see, as quick as any cruiserweight. He really moves fast for a big man. And I'm trying to give you examples of how Corey Graves can get an advantage here, and I'm saying quicken the pace and try and get Conor O'Brien off his legs. But how difficult is that when you've got a man as big as Conor O'Brien who can move as quickly as he can?
An unbelievable athlete at 280 pounds. We're seeing Conor O'Brien assert his will and control Corey Graves. The intensity of Conor O'Brien's eyes tell the story. This is a fierce competitor bent on winning the #1 contender spot. Coming right back on NXT. We are back on NXT. The #1 contender spot is at stake here with Conor O'Brien and Corey Graves. It's been Graves on the receiving end of all the punishment so far, William. Corey Graves is really in trouble.
If we could see a camera shot of Corey Graves' face, we're not sure if his face actually hit the apron there. Could have a broken nose, fractured eye socket.
Oh. Conor O'Brien's sustained intensity, ruthless.
Three.
Oh.
The way Conor O'Brien picked up Corey Graves by his ears there. incredibly painful.
You gotta get back inside the ring. Back off.
No.
Let's go, Brian. Get it back inside.
Conor O'Brien has been in command throughout, William. Corey Graves has withstood unbelievable punishment. Remember, Graves came into NXT, he said, not to make a mark, but to leave a scar. Graves was
And
so
he's done
much
a great job
swagger.
of that up to now. I mean, Corey Graves told us that he was going to cause anarchy here in NXT, and he's done a great job of that. He stole the NXT championship, and he's trying to make his mark, but how can you combat somebody like Conor O'Brien?
The savior of misbehavior has run into a mountain of a man in Conor O'Brien. There's some offense
There's his opportunity.
from Corey Graves. Can he build on it? Graves with more tempo now.
Get it back inside, Corey.
Graves has got to try and get Conor O'Brien in some kind of pinning maneuvers quickly to try and make it or a submission. And it looks like he's gone for the submission. He's a specialist at leg locks, using the post there to wrap Conor O'Brien's leg around. Incredibly damaging to the popliteus muscle in the back of the knee.
The complexion of the match has totally changed. Graves looking for a submission after utilizing the ring post. Look at Graves. Now locking in. Trying for the submission.
The ankle and the knee are being punished here by Corey Graves and doing a great job of it. Look at the way he's talking on that toe. It puts extra pressure on the ankle and the knee. And he's using his elbow. See, that's what I like about Corey Graves. Using his elbow there to rub into the muscles, the different parts of the quadricep to cause the most amount of pain.
The leverage executed, and now Conor O'Brien is in agony. A battle of skill and will on the mat right now. These two battling to become the #1 contender. Corey Graves attacking the left leg. Conor O'Brien, after controlling the match early on, is now
Corey Graves
in trouble.
Corey Graves found his opening. His strategies now is to take out that leg and to do as much damage as possible. Because we've seen Corey Graves, he wants to get on that vicious leg submission that he applies so well.
Look at the eyes of Corey Graves. How badly do these guys want it, William?
More than anything in their lives right now, because they want to be the NXT champion. And winning this tonight puts them right at the #1 contender spot.
Both men hurting. Both men desperate to find the difference and claim the #1 contender spot. This was initially supposed to be a triple threat match. But Bo Dallas unable to compete. Corey Graves continuing to control the flow here.
I was
Corey
very
Graves.
impressed by the way Conor O'Brien countered just about a minute ago. But it might be too little too late. You can see the way that... Now this is where Corey Graves is in his element. He's took away the leg of Conor O'Brien and he's just having his way with him.
Both of these men know what's at stake.
Look at the way that, if you see, Corey Graves has got his foot trapped over the ankle of Conor O'Brien because he knows Conor O'Brien will use that other leg to try and kick him.
We're seeing the level of intensity you'd expect in a #1 contenders match. Conor O'Brien and Corey Graves.
Corey Graves there showing some great strategy.
This is
He
all
reloaded.
about submission right here.
Yes, did a great job. Subtleties of his art there, of his art of submission wrestling. You wouldn't expect Conor O'Brien to submit. I mean, that's another thing. Corey Graves, I hope he's thought this through because Conor O'Brien's got so much fight in him, so much determination. It's hard to make him submit.
Right back in. Corey Graves is controlling the flow here. What a difference from the beginning of the match, William. Corey Graves, the intensity, closing in on the #1 contender spot here on NXT. We are back on NXT. It's been a knockdown, drag-out battle for the #1 contender spot. Corey Graves and Conor O'Brien. Each man competing with so much intensity, William, so much at stake, and both of these superstars have brought it tonight.
Corey Graves has done a wonderful job of isolating the leg of Conor O'Brien. His entire battle game, Conor O'Brien, has been taken away.
End it.
Because, as we know, all his strength, comes from Conor O'Brien's legs. Look at the size of his legs. And he's wore them down and wore them out.
The pace, the tempo of this match has slowed dramatically.
Oh! Just back to that leg, and so ferocious. Just that shot to the back of the knee there.
The submission specialist, Corey Graves, trying to seal this win, which would make him the #1 contender. Corey Graves has been controlling the match.
This is going to throw Conor O'Brien's game completely off, because he came out thinking that he was just going to overpower Corey Graves. When you look at Corey Graves, you can take him lightly. But he's realizing now he's only got one leg. His arms aren't a lot of use to him, apart from in a situation like this, because as long as Corey Graves keeps that distance, and keeps him at arm's length, as is the term, he's got that chance to keep working on the leg and wearing it out.
You could see Conor O'Brien wasn't able to put much weight on the left leg as a result of all the punishment from Corey Graves, and now Conor O'Brien in command, slinging Graves to the canvas.
Corey Graves has made a grave mistake here by allowing Conor O'Brien to get to his feet. He needs to try.
What's going on? The lights are out. The Shield! Oh. It's the Shield! The pack of ravenous wild dogs, the Shield, have come to NXT.
The #1 contenders match has been destroyed by the Shield.
The triple powerbomb, Corey Graves. The biggest names in WWE have felt the same fate. These three renegades destroyed this match.
Seth Rollins lost the NXT Championship. He doesn't want anybody else to have it, obviously.
A total decimation. The Shield have destroyed what was an unbelievable match, William. What injustice. This is sickening. The Shield have taken over.
This is just a friendly reminder to keep your guard up. Whoever you are and wherever you are, there is no escape. You can't run from justice. And that is what it looks like. That is what it feels like when you're brought to justice by the Shield.
And that is just the beginning. The Shield exists to right the wrongs of an industry gone awry. Things are gonna get better. I promise you, things are going to get better, but before they do, they've got to get a lot worse. If you don't believe me, ask Sheamus. Ask John Cena.
Ask him.
Ask Ryback how bad things can get.
We're everywhere. We're always watching. No one is outside the reach of the Shield.
And you better believe
in the Shield! Believe in the Shield.
What an unbelievable end to this night, William. The Shield have asserted dominance at NXT. We don't have a number one contender, but we have a climate of fear. The Shield own NXT.